Hello Internet, KTChamberlain here. You'll recall that 4 years ago I did a birthday special for Olivia de Havilland on her 96th birthday, and much to my surprise, it became one of my top 10 most viewed videos, which is astonishing considering that most of them are countdowns and anime ones at that. But anyway, it's been 4 years and now Olivia is 100 years old, and I'm here to do a video special on the remarkable life of one of the best Hollywood legends alive today. Last time I summed up Olivia's life and accomplishments in a video just under 5 minutes. Now, instead of repeating everything I did last time, I'll just go over some things I forgot to mention in said video. Also, this video will be a little bit longer than the previous one, so let's get started. Anyway, the first thing that I forgot to mention is that her younger sister was also Hollywood legend and Academy Award winning actress, the late Joan Fontaine, who died on December 15, 2013 at the age of 96. In addition to that, I should also point out that there was a sibling rivalry between the two that stemmed into a feud to the day Joan died. How and why this feud came about between the two, I may never fully know, but all signs do seem to indicate that it began in childhood, most notably when Joan's collarbone broke, though she herself admits that was by accident. This intensified in 1941 at the Academy Awards, although it should be noted that Olivia and Joan were the first sisters to be nominated in the same category at the Oscars. Joan probably said it best in this 1991 interview she did in Barcelona.
You're talking about my sister, and I'll just tell you that she is a lion, and I am a tigress, and they don't get along.
I see.
I'm pretty sure she meant to regard Olivia as a lioness, but kudos to the interviewer for not correcting Joan, knowing what she meant. I haven't been able to find any footage of Olivia's response to this feud, but when it comes to such things as this, I think Bilbo said it best.
It is sad, Frodo, how old alliances can be broken, how friendships between peoples can be lost.
And for what?
The day after Joan died, Olivia did release a statement saying she was shocked and saddened by the news. The other thing that I forgot to mention in the last video was that Olivia and Errol Flynn were almost in a romantic relationship, meaning that they had an unspoken attraction to each other, and if they had been in a relationship, they probably would have been the best Hollywood couple since Laurence Olivier and Vivien Leigh, though without the divorce. I mean, since Captain Blood, they had chemistry, though for one reason or another, it was not to be. When Olivia moved to France and saw a re-release of The Adventures of Robin Hood, one of the 8 movies she and Flynn co-starred under Warner Brothers, she had a new appreciation for them and wrote a letter to Flynn encouraging him to watch them again for old time's sake. But she didn't send it thinking that maybe Errol would have thought it too sentimental or something along those lines. Sadly, sometime later, she learned of Errol Flynn's death in 1959. In 1978, while in Los Angeles, Olivia saw a re-release of They Died With Their Boots On, in which Flynn played George Armstrong Custer and she played Custer's wife, and when she got to the scene where her character bids Flynn's character farewell as he's about to head off to the banks of the Little Bighorn, she got out of the theater to cry because it really was the last time they worked together on film, and neither of them knew it at the time, and it was so emotional for her given the parallels between real life and the cinema. Some people were quick to point out that I forgot to mention one of Olivia's somewhat underrated movies, Hush Hush Sweet Charlotte. Try saying that 10 times fast. A psychological thriller starring her and Bette Davis. When I looked this up, I came across this clip where she actually got to slap Bette Davis, whom I should point out also worked with Errol Flynn as a leading lady for Warner Brothers.
I tell you, and if I tell you to lie, you'll do that too. I'm never going to suffer for you again. Not ever.
For some reason, I have a pet theory that when she slapped Betty in that scene, a part of her was thinking, that's for all the times you kissed Errol Flynn. As I said before, Olivia de Havilland starred in one of my favorite movies of all time, Gone with the Wind. But what I didn't know at the time was that for her to play Melanie Hamilton, it was no easy thing. Even though she really wanted to play Melanie, and David O. Selznick wanted her for the part too. The reason why was because Jack L. Warner didn't want to lend her services to Selznick International, mainly because he assumed that she wanted to audition for Scarlett O'Hara, as did pretty much every actress in Hollywood, but she made it perfectly clear that she wanted to play Melanie and not Scarlett, but Warner still refused. You have to remember, this was back in the days when actors had little rights and studio executives held control over their actors and only on occasion would loan them out to other studios if they felt like it or if they had a good reason to do so. Normally that would imply they owed another studio the services of their star actor or actress. Olivia, being the shrewd woman that she was then as now, went to Jack L. Warner's wife Anne for help to exert her influence, and thanks to her, Jack finally relented and allowed her to play what would become one of her most memorable roles in exchange for the services of Jimmy Stewart. She earned her first Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actress. However, she lost to Hattie McDaniel, who played Mammy, but to her credit, she was a really good sport about it, especially when you consider that Hattie McDaniel was the first African American to win an Oscar. So, step in the right direction for the Oscars, I'd say. Oh, and if I don't mention it, someone will. It is ironic that her character dies, yet in real life she outlived Clark Gable, Vivien Leigh, and Leslie Howard. Leslie Howard died in 1943 when his commercial plane was shot down by Nazis over the Bay of Biscay. Clark Gable died in 1960 of a heart attack, and Vivien Leigh died in 1967 of tuberculosis. Gone with the Wind had over 50 speaking roles, and she pretty much outlived them all. That's pretty remarkable if you ask me. There's a lot to talk about with Olivia de Havilland. I mean, hey, living for 100 years, being a part of the golden age of Hollywood, being one of the 4 leads in Gone with the Wind, successfully suing Warner Brothers, which won the fight for actors' rights, winner of 2 Oscars and other awards, and being recipient of honors will do that. Normally when we think of big-name Hollywood stars, even from the silent movie era, we seem pretty accustomed whenever they have scandals, whether they relate to drugs, sex, or any crime, or for that matter PR disasters, or decisions that ruin their careers. But Olivia was quite the contrary, and that may be one of the reasons why the years have been good to her. I mean, she's aged very gracefully, and she's not living in a retirement home or a convalescent home. Sure, she may have assisted living, but so would anyone at that age. Whatever her secret is, she certainly has the greatest longevity as far as I know. Before I wrap things up here, I'd like to show you some bloopers featuring Olivia actually cussing, believe it or not.
You thought it was all over, but it wasn't. It's still there. Like a... God damn, it's still in you.
Let us drop the subject. Oh, Christ, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, Emily. I am not lost. Oh, Christ, son of a bitch.
Oh, no.
Oh, God damn it.
Start over again. Take your time. Start over again, Bob.
What was it? What was the Barry, the son of a bitch?
Let me do it again right now. Keep rolling.
If I had to describe Olivia in one word, it would be rarity, because I know of no other respected actress who has continued such a long and remarkable life with this many feats and accomplishments under their belt and still have an impact more than 70 years after being in a classic like Gone with the Wind. This is KTChamberlain wishing happy birthday to living Hollywood legend Olivia de Havilland. Thank you for watching.